Hi, everyone. Welcome to Experiencing Innovation and Entrepreneurial Leadership. I'm going to do this a little bit differently because a lot of you can go and watch my 3:30 video on experiencing intelligent breakthroughs in your performance in life and really understand my human performance in life breakthroughs model. So I'll go over the model real quick with you. And of course, you can also see it visually. It's in our group. However, I will apply it to innovation and entrepreneurial leadership. And so the model is real simple. It starts with a signal. That signal says you want more success. Humans are wired, ingrained to thrive, to achieve, to strive, whatever word you want to use. And they're just looking for more success. And this is usually holistic success, especially these days. Holistic success. So in your work, in your performance, in your life, in your hobbies, whatever it may be, because they all integrate with one another, or they should, to have a holistic life. And of course, sometimes though, that is signal may be that, oh, there's a problem, we need to solve a problem, or there's a need, we need to solve the need, or there's pain, we need to remove the pain, whatever it may be. That could be the signal as well. Of course, I like to focus on the more success signals just because it's just more attractive to me. But I understand that a lot of times removing the mental, emotional, and physical blocks really allow for that more success signal to come through. So I understand that. Now, what happens is that you need some kind of intervention, and that intervention can be done through you, through something you read, watch a video, attend a program, learning from someone else, whatever it may be, going to a keynote, a workshop, having a coaching session, a consulting engagement, whatever it may be. And during that time of that intervention, you basically have a 48-hour window, 24 to 48 hours of nurturing. And so you're learning about it, you're thinking about how to apply it, how useful it would be, all of those kind of things, right? And in innovation and entrepreneurial leadership, this is usually for a lot of us, it's that when we get that creative, innovative idea epiphany. And for me, when I first started out, that epiphany used to happen quite a bit. Right before I'd go to bed, I'd just start thinking about the day and, the challenges that I had, because I know that it's challenging and there's a lot to do. And of course, we try to do too much in too little time, and that causes stress or anxiety or worry, etc. And so as you become more seasoned and skilled, you realize that it's not needed as much. I rarely, or I don't go to bed doing that anymore. I used to. And, sometimes I do because it does work. And I'll get some great epiphanies then. And, that's that 24 to 48 hour window. And you can have those too when you watch someone or attend a speaking engagement, a keynote, a workshop, a learning session. You interact with someone, they say something, and it's just, wow, made sense at this time for whatever reason. And so that's the nurturing phase. Now that phase, it can stop right there and you go no more, right? You have your criteria, whatever it may be, and you just decide that creative, innovative idea or that new technique or whatever. Well, I don't have what I need, the capacity, the energy, whatever you want to call it, to take it to that next step or that next stage. And that next stage is develop. But if you do, then that nurturing will be ingrained in the develop stage. And that develop stage takes about 3 weeks. And these are habits, okay? And research has shown probably takes about 3 weeks for a habit to form, for it to be a habit, for you to start to think differently or shift yourself as a person. However, that in itself, sure, it has value, but it's not going to give you tremendous value. Sure, it could help you create some successes, records, wins, outcomes. Sure, of course. And we'll evaluate those and unexpected success. But really, it takes about 42 days, research shows, to really start to build on this. So from that 21-day window to 42-day window, when you're building, see, that's when you're putting those habits or that new learning, that new development, that new nurturing. That's when you're actually making it specific, precise to your situation. And this isn't something that, everybody saw the keynote, everybody attended the workshop, everybody attended the coaching session, team coaching session, etc. No. This isn't during that time. The build time is for your specific situation. Okay? And so that's very important for you to understand. And so, basically this could be in the sense the now is the creative, innovative idea. The 21 days is the prototype. Come up with a prototype. Decide that what's happening there. Hey, the prototype, that's a promising prototype. Well, let's build on it. Well, that takes that 21 days to 42-day window, and you build on that, right? And you start to get specific. You start to get precise. Who's that ideal client that would solve, or what's that ideal need that solves or creates, whatever it may be. And that happens in that 42 days. And then to go into that next phase, right? Well, that next stage really is where that build after 42 days ingrains into over time. And this is the part where you can't really tell what's going to happen, because if innovation, entrepreneurial leadership was just check off these 25 items, you do these, you'll get this. And if life was like that, I think it'd be pretty boring. It'd be pretty much like an assembly line. And thankfully, life isn't like that. Innovation, entrepreneurial leadership isn't like that. But this is the place where you really get to put your gifts, talents, and skills. You discover new gifts, talents, and skills, your thinking and your thoughts into your innovation, into your creativity, into your invention, whatever it may be. And this just happens over time. And as this happens, obviously you have new successes, records, wins, outcomes, unexpected successes. And this is where a lot of people talk about, well, we had to pivot. That's what they mean. They had to pivot because they received some type of discovery. And so as they pivot, they were better able to go in this direction with more value. And so that's what they mean when they say that they pivot. And so this is where you really separate yourself from everyone else. Because see, everything else is, sure, you're still using your gifts, talents, and skills, there's no doubt. But really what you're doing is that you're really just forming the nurturing, the development, and the build foundation. But this is when you get to, if you think of it as building a house, this is when you get to select the lighting fixtures. What type of lights? Are they going to be, the high-tech lights where you can walk in and they turn on because they sense you? What kind of windows? What's the thermal makeup of the home? What's the design makeup of the home? What's the architectural style of the home? All of those kind of things. What's the functionality of the home? How easy will it be to keep it in top shape? All of these kind of factors. And then, what's the outcome? What are the outputs of this home going to be about? I mean, is it going to be for this purpose, for that purpose, etc.? And so this all happens over time. And, as you go about, you obviously grow and you evaluate as you do grow. And then that all gets ingrained into accomplishments. And of course, in America, especially in the United States, we love accomplishments and we reward them so greatly, and trophies and interviews and pictures, you name it. But what we don't do that I wish we did, and I don't know if anybody can help, I'd love to see this happen, is to be able to reward the process or mastery of the process throughout the stages of nurturing, throughout the stages of development and building and grow before we get to the accomplishment more. And it just seems like that, and to me anyway. And it's just one of those things that I really wish would be different, because there are a lot of people that can go much further, and I think they deserve to be rewarded. But they do a bunch of work, and they somehow don't get to the accomplishment part. And sure, if they put a positive spin on it, they'll be able to really see the breakthroughs that they did achieve. But of course, our society doesn't do that. Our society is so quick to label them as, oh, you failed at that. Well, you learn from failures. You got to fail first before you accomplish anything. And, all of those things. And, none of that's fun. None of that's enjoyable. And so my point is that I know a lot of people say to focus on process instead of outcomes. And obviously that's good. But what I think is better is to focus on mastery. Really think about mastery. And mastery, basically, when you start with mastery, then you're putting your gifts, talents, and skills to it. And that's what's causing mastery, not the fact that you can do the 5 steps exactly like they're supposed to be, but that you're putting your mastery to it. And that in itself is what's separating it from the pack. So you can almost think like your uniqueness or your individuality, your gifts, talents, and skills, your thoughts and thinking. Somebody's not telling you what to think. Sure, that you might be on a team, you have a partner, and you have a framework, etc. Sure, you have some objectives, some goals, some aspirations, etc. Vision, mission. I get all that. But are you allowing your people to, and yourself, to really master it and put your gifts, talents, and skills to it? Because if you do, I think that's when you'll start to see what I call the performance shifts, or the innovation shifts, or the entrepreneurial leadership shifts, and also just you shifting as a person. Because that's really what's going to happen, is you're going to literally shift in each one of these stages as a person. I don't like to use the word change, because it almost makes it sound like, you got so far and then you just had to change. I don't know. I like the word shift a lot better. So you shift as a person. And then with these accomplishments, what happens naturally, you'll want your vision for the next level of success and beyond. I mean, that's just natural to happen. I mean, who do you admire or think is successful? I mean, maybe it's Bill Gates, maybe it's Jack Welch, maybe it's LeBron James, or Kevin Durant, or Michael Jordan, or I don't know, Venus Williams, track star, whoever it may be, football player, I don't know, just depends, right? But all those people, if you look at their life, I mean, look at Bill Gates, what he's doing now with his foundation. Pretty amazing, right? I don't think he really does a whole lot with Microsoft as much anymore. I'm sure he's involved in some capacity, but he's basically gone on to a vision of his next level of success and beyond. Jack Welch the same way. That's just natural to do that. And so realize that, and that feeds, of course, back into the signal for more success. And of course, that more success could be whatever it may be for you, but it could also be just removing pain, or solving pain, or a problem, or a need. And so that's what I wanted to talk with you about today. And this is all based on the research of successive approximation. So this is something that's being actually a working body of knowledge, a working body of study, of scholarship, of scholarly work that's around this. And so some of this, of course, especially my workbook, that's something that I use my gifts, talents, and skills, my mastery, in order to make it to where you would succeed and you'd have fun and enjoyment doing it, mastering. Because to do that, it needs to be done daily, but it needs to be done in a holistic level and not in silos. And that's exactly what my workbook does. And that's really exactly what my programs are focused on. And what my coaching is focused on is that holistic or mental performance and life consulting and coaching. Because I don't think you can really separate the performance from life, and you can't separate the life from performance. It's just not possible. And it's that integrative effect that I think that we really all want. And we're always looking to achieve that, or to optimize that. So that's what I had today. I'd love to hear your comments. You can comment below. Please share this video with other people. Invite people to the group, especially people, I really want people that want to experience breakthroughs in performance in life. And I think that if a person doesn't want that, then to me, that's not a life that I would really cherish living. But that's just me. Some other people, I don't know. I really think each person is already like that. It's just to what degree, to what level are they like that? Some are more so than others. So that's what I have today. And then, of course, Thursday, we'll be having our Facebook Live sessions on all about life, and then also on experiencing breakthroughs in your sports performance and life.